Greetings, fellow MGTOWs. This is Neo, I Believe, and today I'm going to talk about the topic of homeless MGTOW, and especially the obstacles they face in an institutionalized setting such as a homeless shelter, or should I say a concentration camp. First, the positive. Most shelters are separate for homeless men and women, which is cool. Right off the bat, the homeless MGTOW has the comfort of a male-only MGTOW-like atmosphere. In short, there are a significant number of men who are in the shelter because a woman destroyed them financially and or physically. So that eliminates their inner simp, so to speak. These guys are easy to get along with because they, like MGTOW, are through seeking women and can clearly see the bullshit that women are about. So a men-only atmosphere makes it easier to weed out the awakened red pill guys from the blue pill guys whom are better off avoided. Now the negative. The so-called homeless women, who are not really homeless at all, they always find their way over to where the men are. Often it's because they crave male attention, or just want money or a quick drug fix. Women cannot allow men their own space for shit, and with gynocentrism poisoning all the rules and law systems of the Western world everywhere, the unruly women are very rarely, if ever, punished for sneaking over to the boys-only side. Now, in a previous video I made titled Beta Bucks Nobody Fucks, New Trend, I discussed that homeless women don't even exist. With all the benefits that women get from Big Daddy government just for showing up with the vagina, they cannot feasibly be surviving on the streets ever. Women are in the homeless community voluntarily for male attention, access to substance, and drama. Anyway, despite these men's situation of poverty, substance abuse, and or mental illness, at times they seem to use all of their energy to make up for their downfalls by being the truest, bluest white knights to damsels in distress as they can be. Be careful of these blue pill homeless type. In this video, I will make a 2-column chart separating the red pill and its observations from the blue pill and its observations. So here is the complete chart for you first. Then I'm going to explain it throughout this video. In the red pill, we have men in homeless situation because a woman destroyed him. Cunt employees, only there for male attention. Woman made false rape accusations for herself or the child. Criminals, felons, druggies, thugs, lowlives get service first, squares get abandoned like dogs. And male camaraderie. In the blue pill, we have outdated ways and chivalrous white knight spineless males, ex-cons from prisoner to blue pill know-it-all, and female headmaster authority figures. Men in homeless situation because a woman destroyed him. Quite a few good men are residing in homeless shelters today, and will probably live the rest of their lives there because a woman destroyed them. Either these men went through a bad divorce, or they had their wealth and finances taken from them, their house, their kids. It's even more common than we MGTOW think. Men are in the quote-unquote perfect marriage with a woman. The man does everything, and I mean everything, for his wife. Financially helps her through college, stands by her side through family issues with his in-laws, coaches her to kick any habits or addictions. Hell, even teaches her how to conduct herself more feminine and appealing to him. But suddenly, when the woman becomes slightly unhappy, she takes the initiative to run to the courts and tear the husband's life apart with absolutely no remorse or mercy. When these men are torn from their children and their money at the hands of a toxic woman, it is not long before they are the ones who are unable to kick an addiction to alcohol or hard drugs or worse, even constant talks and attempts of suicide. This is the destruction of good men that only a woman is capable of doing. You probably met these kinds of battered men as they took to the streets flying signs and begging for change, but we'll talk about that more in part 2 of this video. which I will make in the near future. This video will only specifically highlight the homeless MGTOW in the shelter institution, not the streets. Cunt employees, only there for male attention. Just like the female clients pretending to be homeless women, every shelter has the lonely spinster cunt employees who only took on the job for male attention and nothing else. Huge red flags are risen when dealing with female attention whores in the men-only homeless shelter. She's usually married. She needs drama, and her being around men all day is fuel she could use to make the husband jealous. If she's single, she's divorced or widowed from a lowlife or a thug of a husband. She usually hates men with a passion. Working in this environment is just her easy way to talk down to men and vent her own daddy issues and misandry against the male clients. She's postmenopausal with baby rabies. Being around helpless men makes her feel like a mother to them, and she will easily take advantage of this. By that, I mean talking to a grown man as if he is one of her bastard jailbird children. Lastly, the female attention whore knows that homeless men in shelters have not had a regular sex life with a woman, so she uses this against them. She narcissistically believes that she is desired by these men because they haven't had any in a long time, and she could stroke her own ego by denying them sex. In more cases than not, the woman actually is taking advantage of the clients and sleeping with them. Homeless shelters are generally populated by ex-felons and other thug characters from drug dealers, gangbangers, rapists, etc. Now for these postmenopausal spinster cunts working there, this is not only her chance to gain easy access to hard dope, but also her chance to be 13 again and easily gain access to thug cock that she feels a young woman like herself is entitled to. This would easily be called rape if this was a man getting pussy at a female-only shelter, now wouldn't it? But we already know that Cupcake's spoiled ass can do no wrong in the Western world. Woman made false rape accusations for herself or the child. This may or may not come as a huge shock, but there are quite a lot of convicted sex offenders living in homeless shelters. Mostly clients, but some staff members as well. Here's an even bigger shocker. Quite a lot of these convicted sex offenders or convicted child molesters are innocent men who never forcefully put their hands on anyone in their life. These wrongfully accused men were just regular Joes like you and I, until one day they got caught up with a toxic Western woman who sought to destroy their entire life. The sex offender label is an ugly one, because it is a label you carry for the rest of your life, guilty or innocent. These wrongfully accused men had no means of living in standard housing units, or purchasing a house in most neighborhoods, or even finding a reputable career or place of employment. It goes without saying that they couldn't even be present within a certain distance of a school zone or public park. Their entire future was non-existent, and the only place they could reside, by law, were homeless shelters, sometimes called halfway houses. And what became of the women who falsely branded them a rapist or child molester? Nothing at all. These men probably had big dreams or big ideas, but now the walls within the homeless shelter are the only comfort zone they will know. Criminals, felons, druggies, thugs, lowlives get service first. Squares get abandoned like dogs. This comes as no surprise, since this dynamic is everywhere in the Western world today. Naturally, since women have acquired power over everything, playing favorites now means if you don't have a vagina, or if you aren't a lowlife thug she wants to fuck, then you are shit out of luck on any privileges. If you're a homeless MGTOW man, and you find yourself in a shelter institution, expect the bare minimum. In some cases, expect childish, cliquish bullshit too, as even men with a little bit of authority will favor with their old prison buddies, or gang in many ways, while outsiders and freethinkers get abandoned. If you are a non-felon or square, be careful for outright prejudice or denial of service from postmenopausal wenches who are running the show, because you are an easy target for her misandric retaliation. She can't muster the courage to use her thug ex-boyfriend as a punching bag, but you, non-felon, non-lowlife MGTOW man, you'll do quite nicely as a punching bag. After all, it's your fault she is 46, childless, with no rich beta male husband, and works in a male-only homeless shelter to pay the bills, right? Male camaraderie. For the final red pill observation, I'm going to end it off on a positive note. In a world where male spaces are becoming more and more scarce, the men's homeless shelter is a refreshing MGTOW-like environment in its own bittersweet way. Again, weeding out the red pill men from the blue pill men, and then surrounding yourself with only your red pill kin, makes the environment actually better than being out in the rat race corporate world of cutthroats, backstabbers, and overprivileged crones. In the shelter institution, there are men to be found who have been through it all. Divorce, false incrimination, losing custody to their children from an unfit or violent wife, habitual unemployment, and some of these men include retired veterans, first-generation MGTOWs who lived the life long before there was an acronym, world travelers, freethinkers, ghosts, sex-mongers, what have you. After hours, when the cunts working at the shelter go back home to their husbands, the men are more free to say and do what they want amongst each other. Most nights are movie night, with something on TV, bootleg DVDs of the latest films, or just a fun game show on the tube. Men cuss, say what they want, catcall at slutty models on TV, and generally have a good time. No matter what the hell they have been through from a toxic woman in the world outside, they were at peace knowing that true joy was merely a night in with the bros, and no woman, despite her body, could come close to giving a man an equal amount of real happiness. And now I'll proceed with the blue pill observations. Outdated ways and chivalrous white knight spineless males. As I mentioned before, some men in a homeless shelter will try with an iron fist to redeem their lowly situation by being the most chivalrous, gallantrous human pet that they can be to defend their beloved damsel in distress. We're not new to the sight of a man being jumped by a gang of manginas when the man dares shows a glimmer of red pill. This is where the female working at the men-only space gets her kicks. Like a vampire, she feeds off of being the object of worship to these spineless simps. This may even be worse depending on what region you're in. For example, the southern states of the USA, where outdated ways like chivalry still exist big time, i.e. Texas, Louisiana, or Mississippi, I imagine it's a living hell to be in a shelter institution, far worse than another region. Ex-cons, from prisoner to blue pill know-it-all. These are the absolute fucking worst at times. The dipshits fresh out of jail or prison who now think that they know everything. These guys are stuck in their finite blue pill world no bigger than the cell they just got done rotting in. Yet they have the gall to tell everyone around them, especially every red pillar, that they know everything. Any and everything that you utter from your mouth, these blue pill jackasses will argue with you. It doesn't even matter if you were engaged in an A and B conversation, they will see their sorry asses in. Pay no attention to these single mother raised morons. Anyway, they don't stick around the homeless shelters too long, as I imagine they are soon drowning in dried up, diseased, 40-year-old married pussy from the very attention whores working in these institutions anyway. Soon after, they'll receive all the benefits and programs before any of the non-felons and will be on their way to a brand new apartment, rent-free, and loads of financial aid that women in lowly ex-cons receive just for showing up. Female headmaster, authority figures. And for the final blue pill observation, I'll just say that despite these institutions being male only, and despite the token attention whore women working there for male attention, these places rarely, if ever, have a male headmaster or authority figure. Oftentimes the man in charge is usually his wife, not surprising, or the headmaster is a woman. What I can't understand is, how can a woman handle a shelter full of men, some of which who just got out of prison and may react violently to authority figures? That's just the mystery of the blue pill world, I suppose. I hope they keep their pit bull white knight security guards in close range, just in case Headmaster Cupcake ever has to handle a real task like breaking up a scuffle, or regular maintenance for that matter. So there you have it, MGTOW brothers. I hope this video was very knowledgeable for you, just in case you yourself may be facing some issues that could lead you into a homeless lifestyle within a shelter institution. Stay tuned for part 2 of this video in the near future, where I talk about the homeless MGTOW in the streets. Thank you, and believe.